Hi, today we're going to talk about the workflow area of TestLab, which is this sequence of blue arrows down here at the bottom of the screen. And the workflow is nice because it leads us from left to right through all the major steps of the process that we're trying to accomplish that day, be it data acquisition or post-processing. And depending on what products I'm using or which add-ins I have loaded, this workflow can get quite long. So every time I load a new add-in, usually I'll get a new page on my workflow, and sometimes that makes the workflow long enough that it extends beyond the width of one screen, and that's kind of what I'm showing here. When that happens, you get these double blue arrow icons down here at either end, sort of indicating that there's more to the workflow just off screen in that direction. So if I want to see what's over there, I can scroll one page at a time by clicking on those blue shapes, and I see I'm moving through my list one page at a time in that direction. I can do the same thing clicking this way. I also have these other buttons over here which will appear when my workflow extends beyond the screen, and these arrows inside will do very much the same thing as clicking on the blue arrows do, and they'll move me one step at a time. But these guys on the outside will actually jump me all the way to either the beginning where I see documentation, or if I click here, all the way to the end, which is post-processing. I can tell them at the end because this isn't shaped like an arrow like the other pages, but it's got a square cap on it. So that's how I know I'm at the end. One of the nice things about the workflow is that I have control over what pages appear here and what order they appear in, actually. So without changing the products I'm using or taking functionality away by turning add-ins off or anything just to make this shorter, I can actually just hide some of these pages. So let's say, for example, I don't need the calibration page, I don't need the online processing page. There's some other things I can hide because I'm not going to use them in this process. So if I want to change that, I just go up to Tools and select Workbook Configuration, and that will bring up this dialog box here. And I'll have two lists, and on the left is all of the pages that are possible based on the products I'm using, and on the right are all the pages that I'm showing in my workflow currently. So you see I can select calibration. If I hold down Control, I can select some other pages. Let's say I'm not planning on doing any post-processing. I just want to get to measure, and that's where my process will end today. So if I multi-select these and I click this left arrow, you see it says remove from selection. So I do that, I say OK, and boom, all those pages are now hidden. The functionality is still there in the software. I'm just hiding it from my current workflow. So it's a little bit easier for me to go through the main steps I want to accomplish today. I can also change the order of these steps if they're not in the order of my preference. Let's say one of the things I like to do is look at my data right after I acquire it. Well, Navigator is where we do that, right? It's where we plot the data we've just acquired. Maybe we compare it to something else. So I can also move that to the end. So if I grab the Navigator page and I either click down, I can move it all the way to the end, or if I just hit this double arrow here, it moves it all the way to the end. So now my process will be set up my channels, set up my measurement, take my measurement, and then the last step will be end up at the Navigator where I can plot that data. So I can control what pages appear using workbook configuration. I can also control what order those pages appear in my workflow. So if I like doing something like this where the Navigator's at the end, I have full control over that. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Enjoy your new flexibility using the LMS workflow.